Hi everyone, and welcome back to DiademAnalytics. My name is Happy Chukudikebe, and today's video is part 3 of our series on mastering and unlocking the power of Excel filter function. In this part, we'll learn how to dynamically select and display specific columns in our data set. This allows us to present or structure our data without modifying the original source. It is also valuable for creating dynamic calculations within reports and dashboards. Throughout this video, we will explore 4 key methods for returning only selected columns using the filter function in Excel 365. So we have what I've called arrange column method, filter within filter function method, modifying the array argument with choose column method, modifying the filter function with choose column method. To stay updated on valuable data analytics insight that can empower your career, please consider subscribing to the DiademAnalytics YouTube channel. We are here to share our experience with you. Let's get started. All right, remember here we have our data set we've been using for this series. So we are still going to continue with this data set. And remember, we have named this table data, and we will be making reference to the table name as we proceed to part 3 of this series. So the first one we're going to look at is the arranged columns method. All right, so here we want to display the segment, sheet mode, and the cells from our data set here. So we just want these 3 columns that are well organized, they are together. If we also want something like this, the arranged column actually works if you have the columns you need well arranged together. So it could be like what we want to do this way. It could be that you want to pick up the first 3 columns and they are together. In this way, you can just use the method I called the arranged columns method. Okay, so going here in, we want to start by writing our filter function. Yeah, for the array, we have the data as major array, but at this point, we want to start with the segment to the cells. Okay, so what we are doing here is just specifying the range we want to return. So we want to return the segment to cells. So, and we want to return where the data segment, right, is equal to consumer, like what we have up there. Okay, we can just log it up, F4, and then we can put the if empty argument. We just want to return no data, and we close this. All right, so we have segment, sheet mode, and cells. So we can just check out other ones. Yeah, great. So next, what if we just want to return the last 2 columns of our data set? That is, we want to return the sheet mode and the cells column. So we can go on and write, use the same format. Array will be data, and in this case we want the sheet mode. We want to start from the sheet mode to the cells. Okay, and that would be array, and we want where data segment is equal to whatever is in there. And then we can as well proceed to add the no data if empty argument. Okay, and we have this. Okay, what if we want to return just 1 column, the cells column? Yeah, we can do the same thing. So we can just go ahead, filter, and for our array we have the data table, and we just want the cells. So we can just put in cells there, and we just want where the segment is equal to whatever we have here. Okay, and we can as well use the if empty arguments, and we just want to return no data, and we can close this and we have this. Wow, that's great. Okay, so what more can we do so that this data can be meaningful? All right, we can sum it up, so we can have it as the sales value for these whatever we have here. Like in this case, we have corporate, and we can check the home office, check the consumer, right? So let's just format this. We can just select these columns. Want to format this to dollar. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So let's improve this column name here. So we can use concatenate. Concat. The first test we want to put total. We want to put total. Okay. Total what? Whatever that is in there. Cells. Yeah. Cells. Good. And we close this. Great. All right. So when we change whatever we have in here, it will reflect. So we have total home sales. Okay. Right. Consumer. Great. So we have these, and we can actually use these for our dashboard or for any other report templates. Okay. All right. Moving forward, let's look at the filter within filter method. The filter within filter method is going to take the form of filter. Okay, we have our data. We make reference to the whole data set. So we just have, okay, so we have filter, and we have our data. Next, we want where data segment is equal to whatever that is in here. You can use this. All right. And we have this. But now we want to add another filter. Okay. So in this case, we want to use this, and we want to return the second, third, and fourth column. So we don't want the first one. Because we don't want the first one, we enter 0, comma. We want the next one, we have 1. The next one, we want it, we have 1. The next one, we want it, and we have 1. So we can close this and then close the filter function. And here we have our data. All right, we can as well compare it with what we have over there. So we can just pick corporate, and we can see we have the same data set in here. All right. So next, what if we want to return 2 columns? Yes, we can go ahead and do the same filter, and within filter we have the data. All right, and we have where the data segment, all right, is equal to whatever that is in here. All right, and we close the first, and then the second, we just want 0 because we don't want that first column. We don't want the second column, and we want the third one, then we want the fourth one. So we close this and close the filter function, and we hit enter. Wow, that is it. Okay, so next we want the last column using the filter within filter function method. So we have filter within filter, and we have the data as our array. For the include argument, we have the data. okay, where segment is equal to corporate. All right, and we have to close this and move forward. And then we want, we don't want the first column, we don't want the next second column, we don't want the third column, but we want the fourth column. Okay, and we close this and then close this. Great. Okay, we can as well summarize it just like we did for the other, for the arrange filter method, and we just use the sum to wrap it up, and we have this. So we can as well go on to format these columns. Okay, we want it as currency. Yeah. Okay, that's how the filter within filter function works. Okay, next we want to use the modifying the array argument with choose column method. So we start by writing the filter function, and within the array we want to use the choose columns. We want to use the choose columns, and we want the data set is this, and we want column 2, we want column 3, and we want column 4. All right, and we can close it up and then move next to the next argument where the data and segment is equal to whatever we have in here. Okay, all right, we can go ahead and have the if empty, or we can just go ahead and close it up here. Great. So here we are modifying the array with the choose columns. All right, so we can go on to the next. So here we just want the third and the fourth column, so we use the choose column, choose columns, and we have the data. Yeah, and here we just want the third and the fourth column in that order. Okay, in that order, that's how we want it, and we want the data segments where the data segment is equal to whatever that is here, whatever is here. Okay, if empty, we don't want that. Okay, all right, one unique thing about the using the choose column is that we can rearrange our data sets. The arrangement, we can bring the column 4 to column 2, the position of column 3, and so forth. So we can just have column 4 and column 3 coming after it. So we can really rearrange this just by altering these numbers. So we can have column 4, 3, 2, and even 1. Okay, we can have something like that. But in this case, we just want column 3 and column 4. Okay, great. All right, for the cells, we can as well do the same here. All right, we are using the choose column, and we have our data. We just want column 4, and we close this. We want where the data, data segment is equal to whatever that is in here. Okay, we close this. Great. So we can as well wrap it up with the sum function to get the total. All right, so like we did earlier, we can as well have something, make this dynamic by using the concats. Not this one, concat. Okay, the first text I want to have there is total cells. I have a space, and then next, I want this, and then next I want space cells. So yeah, all right, and we close this. All right, so that is it. So home office, corporate. You can as well go on to format this. All right, great. Okay, so all right, and then finally, but not the least, we'll be using the modifying the filter function with choose column. In this case, we'll be starting this with the choose column, but let's do the filter function first. So we have the data, and we want where the data segments column segment is equal to whatever that is in here. Okay, we can as well just go ahead close that here. Now we want to use the choose columns over here at the beginning. So we have this as our array, and then we can just return what we want. We want uh, column 3, column 2, 3, and 4. And we can go ahead close that, and we have it. All right, so same thing here. We can just go ahead, start with choose columns, and we have the filter in here, and we have our data where the data column segment is equal to what we have in here. Okay, and we want to return column 3 and 4. Right, and we close that and we hit enter. Okay, similarly we can just go ahead, choose columns. All right, and we have our filter. Okay, we have our data, and we want where data's column segments, okay, is equal to what we have in there, and then close it, and we want just column 4. Right, so we close this and we hit enter, and we have the list of cells, and then we can just wrap it up here and say sum, and we get the total cells. Great, so we can as well make this dynamic by using the concats. Right, so we have the first text we want, there is the total space close, and next we want this, next we want space cells, close it and close out. Okay, so this is how we can dynamically return specific columns from our data sets using the filter function and with some other Excel functions. Thank you so much for joining us in part 3 of our series on mastering and unlocking the power of Excel filter function. All right, we hope these techniques empower you to streamline your data analysis and create dynamic reports and dashboards in Excel. In the next part of the series, we will explore filtering our data set with date criteria. Stay tuned to learn more. So the data, I have attached this very space for you to practice what we have just done in this part 3. So go ahead, practice it. If you have any challenge, please do not hesitate to just reach out to us, and we will be glad to assist you. All right, thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the DiademAnalytics YouTube channel for more insightful content on data analytics, Excel, and Power BI mastering.